and hello to Deutsch with Herr Hunt. Look at that. That's the sort of animation greatness you can expect from this series. Just a quick little background. I have been teaching German for 8 years at secondary level in the UK, and I thought, you know what, if you are just starting to learn German, if you're working for your GCSEs, or if you're in any other country other than the UK, if you're a teacher or just generally have a bit of an interest in German and you want to pick it up or practice it or get ready for exams, hopefully I've got some really good resources that can help you. I will try and link everything in the description below to where you can go onto a website and download all the resources for free. Not looking to make any money off of this, just really trying to help the German learning community. Um, so we can start off with, I'll probably do some kind of proper introduction video sometime soon where I walk you through everything I'm planning on uploading. But here we go, here's the first lesson. My recommendation, all you really need is, wait for this bad boy, look at that. Just even more epicness awaiting you in these PowerPoints I prepared. Anyway, I would recommend getting yourself a mini whiteboard or something to write on that you can rub off really easily. You could even get yourself a little book to write in just to take some notes as well. As I said, I will link in any resources that you could download and print off if you are lucky enough. But yeah, here we go. Here's the first lesson in the first year of German that we've got prepared for the resources. This unit is called Das bin ich. I suppose the English for that is this is me. And we're going to do Das Alphabet. I reckon you probably guess what that means. The outcomes. This is how I tend to structure the lessons. Just a quick another thing as well. I've tried to remove any images or any content that I believe do not belong to me. If I am using anything that you know is definitely a copyright, please just give me a shout. That's not my intent, and I will get rid of it. But as far as I'm aware, this is stuff that I've planned and prepared. So here we go. Anyway, the bronze outcome for this lesson. I can identify differences between the German and English alphabet, provided you do speak English, but I suppose why else would you be here? Silver is I can spell words correctly when listening to German, and then even gold, I can use phonics. That's how you pronounce certain words and parts of words to pronounce new German words correctly. Isn't that exciting? Wow, speaking so quickly. Right, let's get on with it. As I said, today's title is Das Alphabet. We're looking to understand the German alphabet and phonics, and just a few little things for you to think of before we kick off. Feel free to pause this, obviously, at any point in time, write down notes, write down answers. I'll try and pause, I'll give you a couple of seconds to think, just so you know that you've got time to think. Um, I will also upload vocabulary lists for the units of work and knowledge organizers to help you out. And the first example that you'll have, I think it's on the knowledge organizer, is the list of A to Z in German and how to pronounce it phonically. That's not a word, phonetically in English. So take a little look. It's in the bottom left-hand corner now. Take a little look at the phonic sounds on your knowledge organizer and answer these questions. How many letters are there in total in German? May sound like an obvious question. What letters does German have that we don't in English? And which letters are pronounced the same? There are a couple that sound pretty similar. Little challenge on there as well. How do you think you pronounce these words in the box? So have a little read through, have a little think, write that down, and we'll go through in a second. Wasn't that exciting? I presume you paused, or maybe you didn't. I don't know. There are 26 letters in the German alphabet, exactly the same as English. However, there are 30 if you include accents and the double S. We'll get onto that. Um, German has A umlaut, umlaut, U umlaut, and the S set. Again, I'll describe a bit more, or I'll explain that later. And the letters pronounced the same are, generally speaking, F, L, M, N, O, and S. And if you wanted to give those a little pronunciation attempt, in the bottom right-hand corner, we've got Hallo, Klasse, Pferd, Vier, and Über. I suppose at this point in time, it's probably a good thing to say that I'm not a native German speaker. I don't have German-speaking family. I studied at university and lived there for a couple of years. So if I can get through it and learn this, I'm sure you can as well. Anyway, I'm sure you did fantastically. Or you didn't, whatever really. It's just a YouTube video, isn't it? So just sit there for a moment and relax with your cup of tea or your Diet Coke, whatever you're having, and listen to the correct pronunciation, hopefully, of the German alphabet. And then you're going to be relaying that back to me. I would really advise just getting stuck in. If you just sit there in silence, it's not really going to be super useful for you. So we've got A, B, C. Hear that sharp sort of TS there. C, D, E, F, G. My students laugh at that one for some reason. H, I, confusingly. J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, another favorite coming here, Upsilon, well, a letter, and then Z. The Z has that sort of similar thing to the C with that TS, so Z. So there we go. As mentioned before, you've got A with the two dots above them. That's called an umlaut. If you're trying to spell it out, it's essentially like writing an E after the letter. So I should put the mouse up really, if that's tracking it as well. So the A umlaut, it's a bit like having an AE. It's probably easiest to learn it with in context in words, to be honest. And as some of my students call it, the big B thing. It's a bit of a hangover, really, from older German. It stands for a double S. It's officially called an S set. They're trying to phase it out of the language, really, but you'll still see it in places here and there. I quite like it. So there we go. Right. So if you're ready for it, or if not, just skip on. But come on, I mean, we want the vibes going here, don't we? So sing along with me. I'm sure you know how this goes. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I don't know if there's a bit after that in German to say that I know my ABCs, but whatever. I really would recommend going back and practicing that a few times. German is a really phonetic language. What that means is if you can pronounce the letters in the alphabet, you can pronounce most of the words, really. It's not like English or French where they've got hidden silent letters, or you pronounce one word one way and a similarly spelt word differently. Nope. German is very phonetical, so learn that off by heart, practice it time and time again, and you'll be absolutely fine. One thing to think about is this R. In English, we say that with our lips. I suppose maybe in the future, as I get more videos done, might even put a little camera of me in the top right-hand corner. Terrify you, I suppose, wouldn't it? Yeah, in English, it's R. You pronounce it with your lips, but in German, it comes from the back of your throat. So it's R, R. Shouldn't really roll it. That sounds a bit old-fashioned, but R comes from the back of your throat, not from your lips. Anyway, cool. So here is the alphabet again. I'm going to highlight certain letters, see if you can pronounce them correctly. So I'll give you a moment to try it yourself, and then I'll give you the answer. That's K, C. It's best to overpronounce them, really. S, easy. V, H, E. It's not E, it's E. R. Stop rolling the R's. Sorry. If any German listens to this, they'll hate me. X, V. It's a bit like the English V. V, G. Nice. So if you want to go back through and practice that, have fun. Right. So if you do have that mini whiteboard or a pen and piece of paper, or if you want to open up Microsoft Word or something and type these in, I'm going to pronounce a few words for you in strings of very short sentences. See if you can spell all of the words correctly. I suppose the thing to watch out for here is if you keep an eye on that knowledge organizer, if you've downloaded it, or if you go back to if you go back to this screen and print screen it, then you can have that next to you as you're listening to this. So I'll say every sentence 3 times just to give you a good opportunity to get them down. And also, rather than saying space to tell you where the different words are, sometimes it is difficult when you're learning a language, particularly at the beginning, to figure out even where the different words are. So I'm going to say Leerzeichen, which means space. That means there's a different word coming. And if I want a capital, there are loads of capital letters in German, I will say großes and then the letter. So if I wanted a big B or capital B, I would say großes B. That means capital B. Even better if you've got a bit of background in German, or you just, I don't know, you've got a good feeling for it, see if you can translate the sentences as well. God, I ramble on so much. Absolutely wild. I was aiming for like 15 minutes a lesson, still already on 10 minutes. Right, okay. So the first sentence, here it comes, 3 times in a row. We've got großes G, U, T, E, N, Leerzeichen, space, großes T, A, G. Just realized that the idea of it being a YouTube channel means that you can just go back and re-listen to that, so you don't need me to repeat it twice. So, just double check to see what you got. That was Guten Tag. Gutentag. Guten Tag. Right, the next sentence we've got. I realised also said I was going to read them out word for word. No, I'm going to spell all of the words. What an idiot. What am I doing? So confused. Right, anyway, number 2. Großes H. A. L. L. O. Leerzeichen. Großes H. E. R. R. Didn't roll them that time. What legend? Leerzeichen. Großes H. U. N. T. So if you want to go back and listen to that again, give it another go, which I would recommend, go for it. But here comes the answer. We've got Hallo, Herr Hunt. Can't remember if I put the translations on here actually. Number 1, if you gave it a go, Guten Tag. Literally means good day. Typical way of saying hello. And then the second one is Hallo, Herr Hunt. Hello, Herr Hunt. Or hello, Mr. Hunt. Right. Sentence number 3. Brace yourselves. They get longer. So we've got großes S. C. H. O. K. O. L. A. D. E. What a word. Leerzeichen. Space. E. Watch out. E. Just the one. S. T. Leerzeichen. L. E. C. E. R. Go back about 15 seconds or 20 seconds if you want to listen to that again. But the answer is, check it on your mini whiteboard or wherever you're writing it down on or typing it up on. I would strongly recommend, by the way, actually, upon reflection, if you are actually writing along with this, or if anyone's watching this whatsoever, rather than typing it up, I really would recommend writing it physically because quite a lot of studies do show that you commit things to memory a lot better if you physically write them down rather than just typing them or reading them. But anyway, number 3 was Schokolade ist lecker. Might be able to guess the first word. It's chocolate, and then is, and lecker is tasty. Schokolade ist lecker. Chocolate is tasty. Right, final sentence. Oh, why have I made them so long? Absolutely absurd. Right, anyway, here we go. We've got großes D, E, U, T, S, C, H. Leerzeichen. I, S, T. Leerzeichen. M, E, I, N. Leerzeichen. Großes L, I, E, B, L, I, N, G, S. Yes, the word is still going on. F, A, C, A. Ooh, German likes its long words, I'll tell you that. So the final sentence, if you want to check it, if you're ready to check it, is Deutsch ist mein Lieblingsfach. And that means German is my, and then you've got a great thing in German, it's called compound nouns. Whoops. Compound nouns. That's when you get more than one noun and crash them together. Lieblings, wow, look at that lag. Lieblings is favorite and Fach is subject. So German is my favorite subject. Happy days. Right, let's crack on because I am rambling on. So just a few more pronunciation things for you there. We've got, just a reminder, J is J, and one example is yo-yo. Stuffed. V is V. Example is Vater. We start saying the English, a bit confusing upon reflection. Here we've got V. And one example, if you want to give it a go before me, is Wildwassersport. Wildwassersport. You might be sat there thinking, wow, that's way too difficult for me. Try saying it 5 times in a row. I absolutely guarantee you it will help. I didn't suddenly wake up one morning just be able to do this. So, see an S at the start of a word? More often than not, it's pronounced, I suppose, in English, a bit like RZs. So instead of singen, that's wrong. It sounds like a Z. It's actually zingen. Zingen. It's to sing. And then the German Z, remember, it's a bit like that, a bit like saying TS. So we've got Zug. Zug for train. Here we go. Got these cheeky little umlauts coming now. So, happily, this is pronounced exactly the same as the English, really. So, it's bear, bear. So with no umlaut, it's just bar, but with the umlaut, it's bear. And it's so stupid. Oh no, that's not a copyright image, is it? Right, don't tell anyone. Just don't tell anyone. Disney will come and rip me in half. Right, so O umlaut is, for example, Mr. Löwe, Löwe, not Lover without the umlaut. With an umlaut, it's Löwe. Give that a go. Löwe. Mr. Lover, Lover. Stop it. That's so embarrassing. Gonna put this on the internet for everyone to hear. Right, U umlaut is, this one's a bit more subtle, so watch out for this, English speakers. I did this wrong for quite a long time. We've got the verb to kiss, and in this instance, it's küssen. Without the umlaut, it'd be kussen. So a very subtle difference. Without an umlaut, which isn't a word, is kussen, but we need küssen, küssen. And then the big S, sorry, the big B thing, just a double S, is Fuß. Fuß. Sounds like an S, really. That's the word foot. Right. E-I, pronounce the I. So in this instance, we've got E-I. So you just pronounce the letter I in English. So ein Ei. That's all you say. Ein Ei, which is an egg. But if you see I-E in German, say the letter E in English. So EI, just I, ein Ei. If you see an IE, you're pronouncing it like the English E. So it's die Biene, die Biene, the bee. Wow, this must be thrilling for you, but you can't wait. 5 million views. Right, so I'm probably, I think I was going to skip this one actually. Did I write these down? No, I didn't. In which case, maybe, can I pause it? Oh, I don't know. Um, I was going to say some words with EI and IE, but I think I'll just skip over that. So meine, Beine, Biene, die, weil, ich heiße, ich liebe, wie heißt du? Skip over that. Can go back and do that if it really makes you happy, I suppose. So AI, it's just like the I as well. So we've got hi, which is a shark. Hi. So think of it as hi, hi. Exact same pronunciation. AI, just say the letter I in English. AU is like saying ow. So we've got a mouse, die Maus. With an umlaut over the A, we've got die Mäuse, die Mäuse. So think OI. Might be handy to write that down if you want to. So hi is with an I. Mouse is like ow, so mouse. And then Mäuse is like an OI. As is EU, at least to my ear. So we've got Deutschland, Deutschland. So I think oi, Deutschland, Deutsch. You said it so many times. Right. Oh man, this is tricky for English speakers. So if you are watching this, haha, from Scotland, let's say, Scottish people tend to have a really good pronunciation with the CH at the end of German words. It's a very soft sound. So in English, you might say book with like a sort of hard K, but that's wrong. You're going to need to teach yourself how to say this. It's buch, buch. Don't really know how to describe it other than that, to be perfectly honest. Buch. Practice makes perfect, I suppose. Right, okay, so if you have printed out any of the accompanying materials for this, could also just write this down in a book, I suppose. I'm going to read out 16 words, just the whole word. You're going to write down what goes in the gap. So, for example, number 1 is ja. That would be a J. So you're going to green pen that like an absolute legend as well. So ja would be a J in there. The words here that we saw through the last slides, the words that you've seen here, they're just to try and help you remember what sort of letters sound like their accompanying phonic. So yo sounds like Sounds like, I suppose, to us a Y, but it's not. It's the German J, so ja. Right, boring explanation over. I'm just going to read out the words. Give them a go. Nummer zwei, number two. Haus. Nummer drei. Häuser. Nummer vier. Zunge. Nummer fünf. Fliegen. Nummer sechs. Schreiben. Stop rolling your R's. Nummer sieben. Watch out for this one. Vier. Vier. Nummer acht. Warm. Nummer neun. Number nine. Europa. Nummer 10. Maske. Nummer 11. Hände. Nummer 12. Hören. Nummer 13. Groß. Nummer 14. Kaiser. Nummer 15. Machen. Und Nummer 16. Brüder. Now, those ones were quite tricky, to be perfectly honest. That's absolutely fine. And there are certain things that sound very similar to each other. So just go through them. Haus, A-U. Häuser, A umlaut U. Zunge, that's with a Z, that's that sharp TS. Fliegen, I, you heard the E, so it's IE. Schreiben, schreiben, you heard an I, so it's EI. Vier sounds like an F and could have been in German, but actually it's with a V, that means four. Warm, you hear it in English V, that's a W in German. Europa, think Deutschland, Europa, that's an EU. Maske, just a single S here. Hände, sounds a bit like our E, I suppose. Hände, that's an A with an umlaut. Could also have been an E, just an E by itself. It wouldn't have been a word, but sounds the same. Just need to learn them, really. Hören is O umlaut. Groß is the big B thing. Kaiser, AI, could also have been EI. Does sound like it, but no, it's just an AI here. Machen, there's that sort of soft CH in the middle. And then Brüder is brothers. Got cheeky little umlaut there. It's difficult. That means brothers. Take off the umlaut. It's now Bruder, which means brother. So again, that subtle difference. Bruder, brother. Brüder, brothers. Anyway, let's actually get this show on the road and get to the end. So a little plenary at the end, just to remind yourself of what we've learned. Wow, 25 minutes. What an absolute legend. So what are the 4 additional letters in the German alphabet? If you want to write those down. Big reveal. 3, 2, 1. Ja! So A with an umlaut, O with an umlaut, U with an umlaut, and the big B thing. Um, Officially known as an S set. Sure, my university lecturers would be super proud of me. Wait, I was going to do this on the fly. Okay, so spell the following. Your teacher will read out 3 words. Oh God, so I couldn't remember what they were. I haven't written them down, so we're going to have to just pause it. I will just pause it. I will skip forward, double check, and then. So we've got number 1 is Deutsch. Deutsch. Word number 2 is Beine. Word number 3 is Biene. Sure, you saw them already. Hey, it's the first lesson I've ever recorded like this. I'm sure I'll figure out a better way of doing this. So there's how you spell Deutsch, Beine, and Biene. And then finally, just for yourself, can you try, please, to pronounce the following words? Give them a go yourself. I'll just be quiet, believe it or not, for a second, and then I'll pronounce them, and you can double check if you pronounce them correctly. So we've got kleine, shouldn't be capitalized, but kleine, Kinder, können, keinen, Kaffee, kochen. Small children can't make coffee. Literally cook coffee. Kleine Kinder können keinen Kaffee kochen. Well, there you go. Jeez Louise. Don't know if anyone watched this whatsoever. But that was the first lesson with me. That would be your first ever year of German in the first lesson of Unit 1. To follow this, we're going to be introducing ourselves so you can actually have an introductory conversation with people in the next lesson. If you do actually want to complete little bits of homework to help you out with the next lesson and really reinforce the knowledge and prepare yourself, one of the other attachments to this lesson is the sheet that you can see here. Can use the vocabulary sheet attached with all of the resources or some kind of online translator, whatever, really, to find out how to say all of these things in German. And then we will check that in the lesson next time. I do also really like to plug some more cultural things because just sitting here, listening to someone talk over a video and then writing down stuff isn't always the, the, the absolute best way of learning. Hopefully it has helped you in some way, shape, or form. But I really do think you should like try and listen to music, watch TV shows. I might even do a little string of videos where I um, recommend artists, go through their songs, go through sort of what's on Netflix, etc., etc. But long ramble to an end. I would really recommend a cheesy little bit of pop here called Chöre by an artist called Mark Forster. Put Foster there, it's Forster with an R, sorry. Um, Search up on YouTube. He's really easy to understand. The lyrics are pretty simple, so I think it's a good starting point. Um, but yeah, if you have tuned into this, if you do find any of it useful, drop a comment down below. Not just me trying to do a shameless plug, but if you want me to upload anything, if you need me to change how often I say something, if you need me to slow down or speed up or whatever it is, or if you're struggling to find the resources online, yeah, drop a comment and I will try and read them and help you out. But this is how I usually finish my lessons with my classes. I say the stuff in red, you say the stuff in blue. So we have Auf Wiedersehen, Klasse. And then all of my adoring students say, Auf Wiedersehen, Herr Hunt. And then I say, Schönen Tag noch. And they say, Ebenso. So I can't imagine you're really going to say that back to me, but that's what I like to do. So thank you so much. Continue learning German. Look at the other videos that I'll be uploading as we go along. And Auf Wiedersehen.